moment Charles said, I'm going to walk forward, I'm like, don't do that.
In every stage of the fight, Ilia outclassed Charles. That sequence was like, oh, this guy is on a completely different level.
You said you to the sport when you left. What are you talking about? Nothing you say makes sense. And it's because you are a sociopath. You are literally insane. And I will say this for the record on this podcast, I would be scared to interview him, even if we got so big enough, if we could, because he scares me as an individual.
100%. Frank Ocean apparently took a screenshot of them in that little like weird 69 spot, and he put it on a story on Instagram.
Oh, so they be like,
I think they're good friends.
it's a whole music video about him, butt naked.
What the f? Oh, they're definitely
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We just love a celebrity couple.
Welcome back to the Casuals MMA. We are a combat sports MMA show hosted by very, very casual fans. My name is Gilbert. That's David. That's Nick. And we just came back from Vegas, and we're old and we're dead.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you something, dude.
We're old.
Number one, I thought about moving to Vegas a couple years ago. Never. Never.
We're California boys, baby.
I don't give a about the taxes. I don't care about the they-thems. I don't care about none of it.
Yep.
I like the they-thems, all right? I like the bisexuals.
He loves the ice.
I love ice. Shout outs to Ice, man. Just kidding. Kidding.
Crazy.
Yeah,
No shout outs. Zero shout outs.
Zero shout outs.
Guys, I need the amigos. And every time I go to Home Depot, they're not there because you guys scared all my my favorite people in Los Angeles. You pieces of shit.
They make LA. And you're ruining LA.
Out of your fucking mind, dude. Shout outs to the Mexican people. Tracy Cortez, dude.
Tracy Cortez, let's go.
Lips chapped as
Yeah.
wrecked my lips, dude.
What other ailments you get from Vegas?
What do you mean elements?
No, ailments. I'm sorry.
Ailments. I'm sorry, elements.
Hey, what other elements? Water, wind, fire.
A lack of water.
I know. Just the fire. Just the fire and the wind. That's it.
And the wind.
I had constipation and I had chapped lips. I was weak as fuck.
Yeah.
Did an all-nighter. We flew there the day of. Dude, we fucking streamed for like 5 hours, man.
That was crazy how that happened.
Yeah, we
It
made
was
it.
so last minute. We just put it together. These guys were great to just fly in and then fly out back to their lives. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, and I flew out early just to I wanted to hang out with my kid the next day. Impossible. I was so tired.
You fell asleep.
I fell asleep.
Bro, we finished at what? 2 a.m. We're back in our hotel
what time
room
was
by
your
2 a.m. His flight was at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, so I just stayed awake and I just went to the airport at 4:45 a.m.
You stayed awake?
I stayed awake. I pulled an all-nighter.
Because if you're that tired, you may miss your flight.
I wouldn't wake up.
Yeah, that's
and then
how it goes.
I tried to switch my flight, and it was like an extra $200. I was like, guess I'm staying awake. I don't give a shit.
Oh, fuck.
And then we just went there, and then I was like, oh, I get to see the kid. I wasn't feeling too good. So I was like, I'm just going to take a nap.
We were all sick when we came back.
8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Knocked out.
Damn.
You felt better after that, though. Huh?
Way better.
Hell yeah.
And then the Sunday, too, I was going to hang out with the kid in the morning. I was like, I'm going to sleep a little more.
Yeah.
Have my parents come over, help me out. All good. But, dude, we're not at that age anymore.
It's
We
crazy.
We can't do all night stuff.
I was shocked how affected I was. I was like,
Dude,
damn.
so many prostitutes.
They're everywhere.
Dude, it's so funny because like I know they're prostitutes because I am nowhere near good looking enough for you to say hi to me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face.
What were they saying to you?
Huh? They're
Start
just like,
touching your thigh?
hi. I'm like, bitch, you too fine. Get the fuck away from me. It's woman of the night. Be gone, demon. All right.
I have a baby.
Yeah. I'm married.
I have a child.
Even if I didn't, you don't like me for me.
Look at my lips. They're bleeding right now.
Yeah. You
From
like the
wind.
blood on my lips?
Dude.
Is that what you enjoy?
You want to know what's even crazier?
What?
This guy, true Filipino, made me lose $40. And he's like, come on, play again. This guy,
Now, do
every
it the
time
right
we walk,
way. Come on, Nick.
come on.
Play
Put
again.
place a bet.
Baccarat.
I don't know how to play. Baccarat.
Every time we walk by a table, he's like, come on, let's put some money down.
Dude, you guys are
Put
crazy.
some money down.
I don't
I
ever
lost it
gamble.
all.
I lost $40, sick to my stomach. I should have invested in something else completely, dude. I should have put it in my 401k or something.
But then the next morning, you felt better, or no? You were still sick.
I felt a little sick. I was like, oh, dude, I'm getting a sore throat, a bitch ass sore throat.
It was literally just from the weather, dude.
Yeah.
Like I too felt a little itch in my throat. I thought I was sick. It was just we were exhausted.
Somebody was saying it's the recycled air of all the AC that you go into, all the hotel rooms.
I mean, the cigars and the pussy juice flying
Yeah.
around.
From the women of the
Oh, that
night.
one I like. I'm always like,
Yeah.
Don't be gross, dude.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
hello.
I love
Hey,
it.
we walked by Floyd Mayweather at one point. You guys missed him, but we
did
walked
you-
by the money team.
Oh, damn.
They were in the Aria just walking by, and I was like, holy.
I saw Floyd too in LA years ago.
Yeah,
I saw-
He was wearing these though.
Yeah.
He was wearing the little.
He was in
platforms.
the SUV in K-Town, and it had the Mayweather, the
One up in
logo.
my story, dude.
And I saw it, and he had the window rolled down, and I brought my phone, and his security was like, I was like, oh, well, I already got it, so in your face.
Damn.
And then I lost that phone in water, and I don't have the photo anymore. So whatever. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, that's why we were there, guys. We were there for 317. We did a pop-up, the Full Violence pop-up. We did a live stream for, as David said, 10 hours. A lot of cool fighters. Caio, João Silva, Vanessa Demopoulos. I'm going to just put it right here. You're going to see the video that come out. I forgot how to say her last name. I was so tired. And I tried to look at these guys to help me out. And
I didn't even try, dude.
I was Neville and Alex were like, what the fuck, dude? I blanked out.
He was like,
I was like, hey, Nick, why don't you intro this one? Like, you got this, Gil. I was like, David, do this one. He goes, flat face, you got this? I was like, all right, Vanessa. And she goes,
Demopoulos. Yeah, dude.
I love you, Vanessa. I'm so sorry. I was so tired.
We weren't expecting her to come on the stream either.
Yeah.
Because we had a list of guests that we were potentially going to get.
We didn't know she was going to be there.
We didn't know she was going to be there. So it was kind of like in the moment. It was chaos kind of.
Vanessa, you don't think we know you? Come on now.
Yeah.
We know
You
who
shaking
you
them
is.
cakes on screen. You don't
Take
think
your
we
fun.
know you? First of all, Vanessa, sweetest person
She was so cool.
ever. Intense,
cool.
but intense with joy.
Yes.
Absolutely great. João Silva, as crazy as you think that he is that crazy.
He's scary. He was bullying one of the guys, Shiv, which he needed to bully.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was great.
Because Shiv got a little too drunk and kept interrupting our pod.
Yeah, dude.
And Kyle Barrio was dropping like a gem. He was dropping bars about the fight game, philosophy.
Dude, he was giving me shivers, dude.
Yeah, bro.
The way he talks is crazy, and like he kept leaning in, so we all kept leaning in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
look at the footage.
I thought we were
all in a circle. The camera
like,
just
oh,
we're like,
shit, Kyle.
sometimes you gotta watch Lomachenko.
Yeah,
We're all-
I know.
we're all like,
Oh, so he's from East LA?
Yeah.
hey, you gotta watch it, Lomachenko. Hey, how do you do that accent?
I don't know. I can't do a Portuguese. Or I can't
Portuguese.
speak. I can't
Okay,
imitate Portuguese, and I
guys,
can't
like that.
imitate like the Brazilian accent.
That's the only thing I could do. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
That's Portuguese.
Yeah, shout outs to Full Violence, man. It was a really
Good trip.
crazy event, but it was a good trip. We got to meet a lot of fighters, and
Justin Gaethje walked by.
Mackenzie Dern.
She popped her head in, and you asked her, "Who's your favorite black guy on the roster?"
And that's gonna be our #1 clip.
what most fighters will find out is I don't give a shit. We're just here to have fun, dude.
Yeah, we're just
Shout outs to
jokes.
Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern, Phil Rowe, and David's best friend, Cutman Tate.
Yeah.
Cutman Tate.
What a duo, huh? What a trio, actually.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
All three of you guys together is hilarious.
Dude,
comedy.
yeah.
It felt like I was in high school again, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, man.
David, he went deep. He activated some.
David activated
some crowd work.
Yeah.
His crowd work
They
special.
activated a part of my brain that hasn't been activated in a long time, which is like the roast defense stage. They went.
No,
You know what?
you were firing, dude.
I think you won. You had the last laugh.
He did.
'Cause when you said Tate's back of his head looked like a monster can, that's when
I was
everything
like,
just chilled out.
Turn the stream off. Game over.
We're done here. I think that's enough.
I don't remember what I was saying, dude. I was so delirious.
Bro, when Tate said you had alopecia and you were like, what?
And David does this
It's
with his Korean hands.
Oh
and
man,
Korean
dude! When you
gestures.
grow up in an all-black neighborhood and you're the only Asian person,
Be ready.
You have to have so many jokes ready.
Yeah, you gotta
it's
be-
exhausting, man. I hated getting a haircut. It's like I liked it, but I hated it at the same time. You just go in
You're
there,
working.
everybody's roasting each other. It's like, dog, here I just want a haircut, guys, please.
All right, well, guys, let's get to 317. We weren't there for the fight, so we went back home like normal people and watched it on a computer screen.
which is a much better experience.
much better experience. We got to get into it. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. We all pick Ilia Topuria, but I bet it still hurt us to see that crazy.
All the fighters picked Charles,
Yes, I almost switched it because of that.
but you just know that fighters, they want to ride for the
They're
people
guys,
that they love.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for us too, we wanted to ride for Charles as well.
We wanted to find reasons to
Yes,
ride
yes.
for him.
I did think that the odds were disrespectful.
Yeah.
I will still say that, but we said it on the podcast too. The moment Charles said, "I'm gonna walk forward," I'm like,
He
don't,
did it.
Don't do that.
But he did it. You definitely walked.
Do what you were doing in the first round, which was those kicks, intercepting with elbows. And he just kind of like, you always default back to the shit that you do when you get rocked. And he defaulted back to the shell up.
Walking for him.
Oh, I was like, dude, the kicks were working. The knees at the middle were working. And he just threw it away. So
What did you guys think about Ilia's ground game? Kind of
Crazy.
like the reversal of that takedown.
Well,
kind of,
like,
was he in trouble at all?
it's
Watching?
no, it's what we expected, right? Like how fast he passes guard.
Crucifix almost.
Like Charles Oliveira had the body lock, and he's
Yeah.
really good in the body lock. He takes down most guys. And for Ilia to pull off that like late stage reversal where he fell to his hip but switched his hips and got back to the guard where they're closing up right here, that was money. How he escaped this heel hook, he wasn't really worried. Everybody was like, yeah, but he was doing all the right defenses. You know, like sure was at a moment where Charles could have came up and took his back, but Ilia just confident. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He was doing all the right things. Hit him with a nice little hook right there. But like in every stage of the fight, Ilia outclassed Charles. Charles landed some good shots, right? You said he had a great elbow on the way in on one of the exchanges, 100%. But when there was the finishing sequence where Ilia goes jab to the body, jab to the head, and then Charles makes the decision. He's going to step in and get one back. He's going to throw that cross hook. Ilia parries the cross, throws his own cross, KOs him, left hook, 2 shots to the dome. Like that sequence was like, oh, this guy is on a completely different level. Like if Ilia wanted to be a pro boxer, he probably could. Yeah. And a lot of MMA guys say that, but not to the skills that he's showing. Yeah. He's showing really basic fundamental skills that a lot of MMA, UFC fighters don't have. Yeah. And that's the reason why he's KOing these guys on top of the power that he has. But the fundamentals and the defense, it's just like his hands are always up by his face. He's a real deal.
Was the size difference, were you guys worried about that when you actually saw it in the
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a child next to him. Yeah, it looks like a baby in there. It's interesting, too, because, like, I thought Charles had great moments too, especially because he was size bullying him a little bit when he shoved him off to the cage. Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
And if Charles was going to pressure forward, he should have kept that intensity going, right? But he kept resetting and allowing Ilia to get his base back. And you don't want Ilia to do that, right? So like you saw him disengage and then Ilia is back here again. I'm like, fuck! Charles, you had him scrambling a little bit. Keep that energy. If you say you're going to walk forward with that energy. Because once Ilia gets to his rhythm, you're kind of fucked at that point. You know what I mean? And so, like, even watching that sequence, like, I didn't know what happened because it was so fast. Yeah. And like you were saying before the start, it was a hand trap. It was a parry.
Yeah, bink, bink.
I was like, and he saw it all.
Bro, he parried right into it, and he threw it. He knew what to do. Yeah. He was waiting for that. And Charles was wanting that left because Charles has a great left hook and he wanted to land that. Oh dude, how fast! Couldn't get there, and it was in the exchange. Like not many guys show that level of counterpunching, right? Like usually we see guys that have like cool slip and they come back, but that's really rare too. Yeah. So, but it's very basic, very simple, and he knows how to get to his spots. But I do feel like the blueprint to beat Ilia, if there is one, it's kicking his dude. Yeah. They got to keep him at kicking range. You have to really manage the range very well on
a little bit.
Because you saw, like you said it too, after that scramble where Charles got up, he went right back to what he felt comfortable. And that was closing the gap, trying to get in the clinch. And, you know, that proved deadly for Charles Oliveira. And, you know, to see him get KO'd like that, the slow motion's tough because his eyes are rolling back. You see him get hit with those 2 shots and his eyes are open. It's like he does all our favorite fighters so dirty.
Yeah, man. And I actually thought the hook knocked him out. It wasn't.
It was the cross.
It was the cross.
And he fell on his knee. Oh,
so bad, dude.
This sport is fucking brutal.
I hate it. Let's stop watching.
It's so brutal.
I've rewatched this so many times, man.
I can't stop watching.
It's insane.
I can't stop watching it.
Look at this shit. Look at that jab, too. So hard. Resets. Bang, bang. Bang.
The reset was so quick because he was stepping back and he's like, adjustment.
Yep. It was just that it was that off rhythm half beat.
But you watch this dude in sparring. He has tons of sparring footage where he goes to kill cliff, he goes everywhere. He's doing it to these guys. And when he's sparring, he's throwing like 20%, still just piecing these guys up. Yeah. And I think it's the confidence in his grappling, his overall game, like his decision making, A1. His fundamentals in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, A1. Yeah. And I feel like with that, on top of the power he has, it's going to be a real problem, dude.
I think the biggest thing, too, when, you know, people compare, because I wanted him to fight Dustin Poirier, 2 boxers kind of going at each other with a strong hook. The difference is
as his retirement, Dustin's retirement?
I thought so.
That was in the works. They were talking about it. And Dustin was like, I either want Gaethje, Holloway, or Topuria. Yeah. Those are the names he said. Yeah.
Topuria is never out of position. Dustin kind of reaches, you know what I mean? Reaches, he bows out, reaches a lot, which is fine, but then Ilia loves that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you compare their hooks, and they did a comparison video, you could tell, like he's Dustin throws his hook beautifully, right?
Yeah.
But Ilia is just so tight right in there, shifts his whole weight back. That shit's like what you learned the first day you learn a hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sit back on your hook, keep that elbow high, bong. I'm like, anybody will get knocked out by that, dude. It's just the perfect type of momentum.
Especially in MMA gloves.
Yeah.
Right?
Who would have survived that?
The other thing, though, too, is when this... I was asking Alex about this, because Alex is a big Charles Oliveira fan.
Oh, dude, I was with him watching this.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was tough, right?
He was sad. And I asked him, I was like, when you heard this fight get announced, what was the first thing that popped in your head? And he goes, Charles is going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
But then as the fight goes on, you kind of rationalize, you kind of think, oh, well, there's this, you know, he's big, he's a lot of experience, he could beat him here. And you kind of start to think that. But Charles Oliveira was a really favorable matchup for Ilia.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen him get knocked down. Yeah, 100%. So I know a lot of people are saying, Paddy, how can he beat him? How can Armin beat him? How can those guys? But I feel like those two guys probably have the best shot because they're young. They haven't taken too much damage, and I feel like that's going to be really important. And they're both kickers too.
Yes,
like their boxing's not that good, but they can kick really well.
Paddy has
and they can grapple really well. So I feel like the path to beat Ilia is like you got to be a big body to put weight on him, make him tired, so that gas tank can go away. I don't know if he could knock people out in the 5th round. We haven't really seen that. We saw him piece up Josh Emmett for 5 rounds.
5 rounds, yeah.
Right, but I'm really curious to see how he matches up with Armin and Paddy.
Yeah.
I am interested in that.
So the options right now, Ilia has commented on it, but really, realistically, there's Armin, there's Justin Gaethje, there's now Paddy Pimblett.
You know, there's rumors that Paddy is going to fight Justin Gaethje on the DDP Hamzat card.
Yeah.
As the co-main.
You've been wearing the same outfit every single day. What are you wearing?
I just can't take off this athleisure wear. This high performance. These sweats, dude, so as soon as I got them, I've worn them 2 weeks in a row every day. These are built. Built to last, built for comfort, and also built for style.
If you guys are unfashionable, you don't know what to wear, stick with the fashion basics. And if you're going fashion basics, you go with Built. A lot of their stuff, like I said, is about high quality pieces. If you look at the stuff and you're like, how many pieces do I, even if you get one shirt, you can rotate that in your closet and it's still good. I've washed my Built shirt a million times.
Look at this.
And one of the things I hate about cheap shirts is that after you wash it, they turn into midriffs. And I'm out here looking like a street night walker. All right? Not with Built. I look sexy, I feel fresh, and I'm fine as heck. This right over here, though, guys, I look.
Are you gardening, baby?
I look like I'm ready to pick up my kids from the fish market. Like, I don't have a good face for a bucket hat, but for those of you who do rock bucket hats and fashion basics, get the Built stuff, man. I really think that you won't regret it if you get any of their stuff. Their stuff is great. We rock it all the time. We were out in Vegas. People are like, where'd you get that shirt? I said, I got it from Built. Because I'm dope like that.
Come on, dog.
I have a very good head for a bucket hat. If he goes to the fish market, I am the fish at the fish market. Use the promo code CASUALS to get 20% off. Built. Check it out.
You won't regret it.
But what do you guys think for Ilia, though? What do you think? Armin. That's like, is that brain, or do you think even UFC business? Well,
I think it's both.
Strike while the iron's hot. Wouldn't you say Paddy Pimblett, even though not deserved?
The reason why I'm saying no Paddy is because Dana was like, no.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have happened. He was like mad about that.
Yeah.
Some people are saying he was saying no, but they're like, how did he get in there so easily?
Yeah, but apparently they don't even know who the fighters are, the guys who work the security. So if Joe Rogan tells them bring that guy in, the security's gonna be like, oh, okay. Come on up.
It's so funny because Paddy seemed very cordial, and then Ilia doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, you did a really good job. And he just goes like, fuck you.
He's like, that was a good knockout.
Yeah, spits in his mouth.
That was a good
Stop
knockout.
spitting on me, dude.
Yeah. But that
push
size is pretty crazy. They look like 2 different weight classes.
100%. And Ilia wants to go to 170, which is, it's so funny. That push made me giggle so hard. He goes, I'm not going to drop my brand new belt.
I drop on my food. Over.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
But he did push it back a little bit with a little mini shove.
But this would be so like easy to sell.
Paddy needs one more.
Yeah.
If they really want to like do this well, I think he needs one big win. And if he fights Justin Gaethje, it's a good matchup for him.
Yeah, beating Michael Chandler now is not a big
nothing.
thing.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Carlos,
But if you're the UFC, right, you got the new deal coming up, and you're like, fuck, Paddy, if he loses, we lose this fight in Australia.
but they still have a
Europe.
couple of guys. We saw one guy make a tweet. He was at the pop-up. We didn't get to say what up to him, but Mauricio Rufy
Oh, yeah.
He made a tweet saying, hey, I'm going to come avenge Charles. And I feel like matchup-wise,
That's a great matchup.
I think it's a good matchup for him. Like, it does, obviously Rufy hasn't fought the top guys, but we know he's really good. And he's on the way. And if they build him proper, that could be a great fight.
And he's rangy.
He's rangy. He's long. After talking to Kyle, you realize how nerdy these guys are about fighting. And I feel like it's going to take that type of specialist to figure out a guy like, so will he do it? We don't know. But that's what makes the fight exciting to me.
If the only concern I have about Rufy is that his style is hands down, chins up. And dude,
But he does spinning back kicks.
this is true.
And he does stuff like this.
Yeah. He looks away.
Wait,
I feel like
no look punches.
because Ilia he not only does he have a puncher's chance, he's just really good at setting things up.
Oh, he threw a cross out.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Hand sanitizer, boy. So it's like because Rufy has his hands down and his chin is up. If Ilia, they do their research, I don't know what it is because obviously I can't figure it out, but they figure out a way to get in. He touches that chin once, it's going to hurt him bad.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
It's going to hurt him.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the risk with Ilia, right? He's going to be able to knock out any guy on 155.
Mm-hmm.
That's just on the table. That's just what we know now. His power it seems like, doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
It's God-given.
He does have a God-given gift, though.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Vanessa was talking about his hands is like a fucking mitt. It's huge. He has
Giant
big
hands.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's just what he has.
When I look at my hands, I'm like, I'll never be a KO artist.
Never, dude. These things are made for big. I can make pizza.
And jerking off.
Oh, yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man.
Oh, right. Hey, Michael, put a little steam.
That's
scratch it
gross.
off their
Don't do
hand.
that.
Oh, dude, hell yeah, man.
Oh, right. Hey, Michael.
Please don't do that.
Don't
dude.
do that.
Everybody already calls me gay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
I get bullied every day for my wife.
Don't make video proof of it.
Come on, man. Do you guys have this sense of feeling with Ilia? Like, it feels, I know we always compare him to McGregor, but that feeling of like Ronda or McGregor.
Yeah,
like
100%.
A true 2016
He might
star.
have the craziest 3-fight run.
Yep.
That's incredible.
I don't even think we could do comparisons about McGregor and Ilia. Ilia's record already trumps. I know that Jose Aldo was huge,
or
right?
star power at least.
Jose Aldo was huge, right? He did some, Eddie Alvarez was big, right? But let's just be honest, man. This is like Max still at his peak, and he knocked him out.
Yeah, it was at 145 though in the weight cut. It ruined it.
And this is Max Holloway who beat the shit out of Jose Aldo twice,
Yeah.
right? And that's not peak Max.
Yeah.
So what do we say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Ilia.
It's good math. Good
They
MMA
just
math.
said he's the #1 pound for pound. He just shot up.
dude. I agree.
And honestly, it's hard to deny that.
People
Right
asked,
now.
but what about Islam? Because he did Volk twice, and then he also did
Recency bias in this fight game.
and Oliveira too.
Yeah, I mean, we could switch it all up though. I mean, I'm not going to argue with somebody and say the pick is wrong.
But for him to go double, he had double champ before Islam.
That's what
Right?
pushes it over. Yeah.
He had double champ before Islam in the same calendar year of knocking out like. Well, he just knocked.
It's also
out
the way he's
Max.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way he's doing it,
And he just did it so easy.
and bro. His performances are just like
So calm.
they're shutouts. Mm-hmm. What adversity have we seen him in since he fought Jai Herbert?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
That
was
even then,
about
he
it.
knocked his ass out.
That's the next fight. They bring back Jai Herbert.
Also,
The Ilia
too,
killer.
Ilia too defended his belt. Connor hasn't, so we can't even make that comparison. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Can't do it.
Yeah, he's surpassed Connor.
I think so, 100%.
If Ilia had funnier jokes, and he would say things like,
I'm gonna put my balls on top of your forehead.
Yeah, stuff
I
like
love
that,
that one.
you know?
That one made me giggle.
once he starts farting on his like opponents,
Oh, game over. bro.
then he's gonna go
All
next
right, dude,
level.
he doesn't beat Connor now.
Like trash talk, that's what propelled Connor to
Yep.
But he has a
like,
different
next level.
style, very cool style.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm apologizing.
Suave.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
shit,
kill
dude.
He celebrated his win the day before.
Love that.
That's sick.
Hey, love that.
I was like, what the fuck is
And then now his whole family's going viral, right? His son like doing the little imitation and
No,
shit.
his son doing the spinning back. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, his son's gonna be a monster, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's gonna be a beast.
All right, we got the co-main. We got
We kind of saw this coming.
Alejandro Pantoja.
You guys know I
versus
picked Kai Car Fresh just because,
You're a
Because
quarter
you're
Maori.
a casual. You don't know anything.
No.
I heard he's only a quarter Maori.
that's a decent amount, man.
Yeah, is it?
Quarter's a blot.
Yeah.
This is like Elizabeth Warren saying she's Native American.
Like, this
No,
is-
but I see a lot of people shitting on this dude for doing
He's
the
Maori,
mask
right?
too much.
He actually
He
is
is.
Maori.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think 25%'s a lot. I think that's a good amount, right? That's like 2 halfies coming together. You get that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know what I mean?
That's good math, dog.
Right? 2 halfies.
2 half.
You're good with
Isn't that what it is?
Huh?
Oh, it's a halfie and a non-halfie. Halfie and a non-halfie.
So, wait, what is
It's a full blood and then a full blood of not Maori and then a halfie Maori to 1/4.
Hey, Gil, can you put up the genealogy tree for Kai?
Hey, I do math, all right?
Yeah, let's make this a video
All right.
essay.
You have a 50% of this one here.
7
You have a
o'clock.
100% of a natto. What these are one here, you get a quarter of this one.
Why
There you go.
a quarter Maori is enough. Yeah.
I think so, for him to stick out his tongue for 15 minutes.
20 times a day. Yeah.
Someone made a compilation of him doing that, and then him getting choked out, and I was like, that seems not funny.
That's not funny.
That's
Dude, Kai Kara France against Pantoja. I know I picked Kai Kara France, but I think I said on the podcast I knew Pantoja was going to win.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
Yeah, Pantoja made him look like Kai has never fought a day in his life. And I was
hoping that his takedown defense or his because we know Pantoja takes backs, like that's his shit.
Easy.
Everyone says Pantoja's ground game is next level. Though.
Yeah.
like
Every fighter was like,
they're like his ground game. No one can probably keep up with him at 125.
except for Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno's.
Except for Moreno, dude.
Make it do a quadruple fight, dude. They can play it one more time. But yeah, Pantoja, bro. I don't think anyone's gonna beat him at 125. But he's got Joshua Van next.
yeah.
That's gonna be a tough one for Joshua Van.
Man,
It's a big step up, but this dude is proving that he can hang with the top dogs.
I think Pantoja makes it look easy against Van.
Yeah.
Not like I said, even when I picked Brandon Royval over Van, it's not because I don't think Van is dope, right? No. I just think, like Royval too. Like, let's just talk about this fight for a second, right? Because there's nothing to talk about the Pantoja fight. He fucking steamrolled him, right? There's nothing else.
We saw that.
We saw that coming. Royval had great moments, and I really dislike the commentary on this because when you look at the striking stats, they're almost even.
Yeah.
Right? But they barely gave any love to Royval, which I think is so disrespectful.
He definitely pulled away in like the second round.
The second round was Royval's, dude. He jabbing the fuck out of him, dude. He had great moments too, and he was connecting hard. It's just that Joshua's shots were a lot harder. They're a little more precise. Yeah. Right?
I think he outstruck him by like 20 shots by the end of the fight.
Yeah.
20 or 30 punches.
And I think more of the hype train and kind of like the internet like fandom right now is for Josh. And I think you're right about that because like if you rewatch the fight, it's actually a lot closer.
Yeah.
You're watching. We're all very biased, but you watch it like, shit, some of these rounds can go either way.
Yeah. Number 2, I gave it to Royval. And the third round too, that's where Van started throwing those oblique kicks, and he started changing it up a little bit.
Oh, God, those knees. Dude.
And, dude, I didn't know he's only been training for 5 years.
Bro.
What is that?
I saw a funny clip with him.
You've been training longer. Think about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't doing it all the time, though, okay?
Not like him.
It's not my job.
I'm not obsessed with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how
It's a hobby for me.
Okay, she goes to a different school, all right? once a week versus every day, all right? But dude, like he has such talent. 5 years and he's at that level is insane.
He's a dog, man.
Yo, some of those quick parries and like reactionary like shots were sick.
Well,
So
his
fast.
boxing's real tight.
Yeah.
Like he stays there. And the thing about it is anytime Royval landed a couple shots, Joshua Van was back in the fire, trying to get the last shots back, right? So he definitely got tagged, but he was coming right back. He was pulling, slipping, moving.
Do you think he has the knockout power though? I know we've seen him knock out.
Yeah.
So, but like, does he have it with these bigger dudes like Royval? Like Pantoja's huge. Like, can he knock him out, or is it going to be a decision?
I don't know if
win.
I don't know if he's going to. Pantoja's not going to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they're exchanging like that, while they're exchanging in the heat of that,
grab him.
he's going to shoot for a single leg. He can shoot for a double leg, and it's going to change how Joshua Van approaches the fight. Because when you're trying to stand up and that's your shit, you're not going to be very likely shooting takedown on Pantoja.
And
even though if he did, that'd be sick.
And Pantoja's striking has gotten a lot better. When I saw in the Kai Kara France thing, I was like, uh-oh.
And he's getting more confident.
Yeah.
He's getting better. He's getting more confident. He's beating these guys faster. And yeah, he's what, 5th title defense?
Yeah.
Pantoja's just bringing stability to 125, baby.
Trying to make his dad proud.
You know what I mean?
Dude, that shit killed me.
Makes me
watching
sad.
That. It makes me
Makes me
so
cry.
sad, dude. It's like, well, fuck your dad, dude. Fuck that guy,
You
man.
don't need his approval.
Yeah. But, Royval's biggest thing is like his scrappiness, right? But scrappiness,
It's a young man's game.
it's a young man's game, 100%, right? And then, you could tell Royval was so pissed because just like in the Charles Oliveira fight, they go back to what got them to the game in the first place, which is just, fuck this, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
And you weren't winning any of those type of exchanges.
No.
Do what you were doing, sticking out that jab, moving. And I thought, as a veteran, that's what he would have done, right? Look at those jabs. He was sticking him hard.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have kept up with that, it would have been okay. And then after he was sticking those jabs, feinted, then he could throw the cross, you know? But he just kept overreaching. Yeah. And what we're seeing with these technical boxers, they want that.
Yeah.
Please, overreach so I could get right in and just crack you. He kept doing it. And I'm like, oh, come on, Royval.
And at that point, I think the reason why he opened up was he was like, dude, I'm losing this fight. I got to push hard.
Yeah.
I got to open up. I got to make something happen. And then, you know, when you try to make something happen, you get a guy like Joshua Van who's blowing your knee out. I think he blew his knee out probably. Because after he threw that first oblique kick that made his knee bend back, he was unstable. He was getting dropped. He kept falling, right? And yeah, dude, like that'll do it. But the whole time I kept thinking about Brandon Royval's concussions.
Yeah.
And when I hear a fighter talking about, I'm going to move up after this, blah, blah, blah.
Did you see this fight?
Yeah, then it kind of makes sense where you're like, oh, okay, I think you're kind of headed towards that direction. He's like, I'm going to make more money at 135, yada, yada, yada. So
I just felt like Royval, too, kept throwing his cross at very unopportune times, right? So when he would kind of like bait out his jab, it was when it wasn't connecting. So he's not going to bite on those things, right? When he was connecting hard, then I was like, oh, he's going to feint it and then throw the cross. But he would just
kept on the jabs.
Yeah, I'm like, you're throwing the jab, the feint's wrong. It's like, it's at the inopportune times.
But Joshua Van, he's a southpaw, right? Orthodox? Because I know it was switch stance. I don't know who was who.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he was orthodox. Royval was southpaw. Yeah, so like, Van did a really good job fighting a southpaw, and he kept landing that cross over and over and over again. And I just feel like,
see, look at that, look at those jabs landing, right?
Yeah,
he was hitting that every time.
Yeah, and then you know it's like those times when Van's about to pull, I thought those feints would be great. I just felt like it was mistimed a little bit. And I think he had the equation, but he just couldn't see what he was supposed to do. It was like, okay, the jabs are landing. But you see what I'm saying? With that open space, he threw the feint in the open space. Why there?
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't understand that part.
Oh my God, I'm so
Close
tired.
your stinky mouth, dude. Because of my Breatheeze nose strips, I could smell that shit from a mile away.
Wait, how am I supposed to close my mouth, though?
Obviously with the mouth vented tape from Breatheeze.
Breatheeze has mouth tape? How does that work, Nick?
I snore all the time.
Yeah.
I used to wake up feeling tired all the time until I got the mouth tape vented. They have a nice little slit so you can kind of breathe a little bit.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Throw me one.
Sometimes when you just do the straight up mouth tape, it's a little scary, but with the vent, it's a nice little transition. I swear to God, as soon as I put this on and I had a full night's sleep, I woke up feeling like I've never slept that good in my life before.
When you don't sleep, it ruins everything. You have a cognitive decline. Your eyes go cross-eyed. Your ears look weird. It's just crazy. Nick never looked like this before. Nick is actually a 6'5" tall Caucasian male. But because he wasn't sleeping, he's de-evolved into this thing.
But honestly, dude, you guys gotta get some mouth tape. When people do sleep studies, you know what they recommend? They recommend nose strip and mouth tape.
Guys, stop mouth breathing like me. Start optimizing like Nick. Grab yours now at breatheeze.com because your next fight starts the moment your head hits the pillow.
Love that. A lot of times too, Joshua Van, we get tagged, he's moving out. So he's like getting the end of the punch and then he's getting some distance too. So he's getting tagged, but it's not the full shot. But he was trying to stand in there and Joshua Van was advancing, throwing that cross right down the pipe, landing those hooks, man.
Dude, he's so good, man. And Joshua Van too was throwing, you know, the rear teep, the low kicks, he has it.
And I feel like for Royval, all his fights are wars.
Yes.
Right? So you can only take so much. I can only imagine what he's like in the training room. Right? You get a guy like Van who's 23, who's relatively young in his game. He doesn't have that many miles on his body. He could do these fights with these guys.
Yep.
But Pantoja, different beast, because the grappling is going to be a whole nother can of worms. That's what I say, can of worms.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Benil.
Benil Dariush.
Why did I not? I didn't pick the OG again, dude.
Yeah, but we like Moicano, right? And we kind of...
Moicano did what we thought he was going to do in the first round, though.
Yeah, he dropped him.
Yep, and I was like,
here we go.
Because that was the one thing, Benil's chin was kind of making me feel a little like wary to bet on him. Just because we saw him get dropped by Arman, we saw him get pieced up a little by Charles.
Right there.
But man, that cross and his recovery, but it just shows how good he really is.
Yeah.
And I think, you think Moicano got a little tired?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got tired.
He got a little tired.
He got tired. Moicano's still good, though.
It was a close fight.
Hey,
Peyton.
did he go to Dagestan or what?
He can wrestle now, guys.
What? What happened?
He's got it in him, I
Matrix
think.
download.
Because remember on the Barcelos fight, he took him down. He had like a nice little suplex on him. So I'm like, oh, okay, this guy got it in the bag. You could just tell,
He needs development.
Barcelos is just a different level, right?
Yeah.
So he did his homework. He knew what he had to do. And Lima was a great, he gave him great looks to kind of get that experience in.
He, I think Felipe lost because he got frustrated.
Yeah.
He got frustrated.
He's like, man, it's not working. I can't get to these takedowns.
Yeah, he was like, my ground game is good. And I think he saw the previous fight. He goes, oh, this is...
And Payton's big, dude.
Yeah.
He's big. He's pretty big for 135.
Dude, even when Peyton did get taken down, he got right the fuck back up, man.
And he was calm.
Yeah.
Super calm,
Happy.
super stoic.
See his
Yeah.
smile? I was like, oh, he's
having fun in there.
He was smiling in a weird position though.
Come on.
What was that 69 one?
Oh, the Frank Ocean one, yeah.
I saw someone.
Yeah, he Frank Oceaned him.
This is Frank.
I saw somebody
This is Ocean.
put this on. I don't know if this is true because so much shit you see
Hey,
is
is it
fake.
your dumb AI thing?
No, not that.
Because that was funny.
But
That's the best
Frank
one.
Ocean apparently took a screenshot of them in that little like weird 69 spot, and he put it on a story on Instagram.
Frank Ocean?
Yeah,
Oh, so they be like,
I think they're good friends.
Oh, they're
they're good.
Friends down.
And then I saw a video of Peyton Talbott in his music video. He takes off. He's butt naked. He goes for a dive, and that's in his music video.
Wait, Peyton Talbot was?
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
in Frank Ocean?
It's on my favorite.
Hey, wait, why is that?
Dude?
Why is that starred?
Yeah, why you
And
starting
why do you have a
dude?
separate YouTube
Don't
channel
worry,
that's private?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and why is it called Cum Dump 2025 on the folder?
That is my YouTube channel. All right, follow me at Cum Dump 1 on YouTube.
Cum Dump done.
Richie's like, what a loser.
Shut up, Richie. You're on my community. Look, you type in Peyton Talbot, Frank Ocean on Reddit.
Definitely was a dream of his. Doesn't exist.
Look,
Everybody's like, oh wow, okay.
he posted that
Okay,
That's very sus, man.
with heart and a crying face. So Frank Ocean,
this is the music video, right?
yeah, dude. Look,
It's a whole music video about him.
How did they become really close friends? That's so random. Isn't there like a
he
fucking
is.
naked.
Butt naked.
what the fuck? Oh, they're definitely fucking. Hey, it's all good.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're definitely.
We
fucking.
just love a celebrity couple.
Yeah.
A power couple, you know.
Oh, they're
Hot goss.
They're
It's
smashing.
hot
Dude.
goss.
They're smashing for sure.
Honestly, this could take Peyton Talbot to a next level.
Oh, this will be like superstar.
It's like if you're gay, bisexual, whatever,
like a
but your
fucking-
boyfriend Frank Ocean,
That's
you talking
some-
about Channel Orange? Bro?
Hey man,
You
that's
think-
12-year age gap too, isn't it? Like a 15-year age gap.
Is it?
I think there's a huge age.
Dude,
gap.
don't make it weird.
Come on,
I'm
man.
saying, dude, that's a little predatory, man. I mean,
Dave's
on,
calling
dude.
you out, Frank Ocean.
yeah, it's a little predatory, Frank.
Bro. Bro.
Gregory.
The old man
RoboCop.
face.
Dude, what a great comeback from his last loss, dude.
Old face, young hands.
Yeah.
Did you guys
God damn
think
it.
that was gonna happen though?
No, because Hermansson's so good at being evasive, which he was doing great.
Yeah.
But then Gregory just caught him.
He just kept throwing. And caught him with that little left hook. Bink. And the way he went out and the hammer fist at the end. What do you think of that hammer fist?
Have you noticed? Oh, dude, he killed him.
Yeah.
He killed him, dude.
It's kind of mean. You didn't have to do that.
Do you think that now we've been seeing this type of knockout out so much lately? I think people are catching on to people, pulling out in straight lines. It's like, oh, I just got to follow up. You know,
Just keep walking him down.
just walk him down, follow up, and you'll catch him. And it's been happening a lot. This type of knockout has been happening a lot.
Ooh, brother. Apparently he was out for like 2 minutes after this.
That's not good.
That's going to change his whole career, dude.
He should retire. Or do UFC BJJ.
Hermansson, win-loss,
at
win-loss,
that.
win-loss, win-loss, win-loss.
bro, his
Not
head, the way it
necessary.
bounced off the canvas.
slow. Oh,
I mean,
that's so not good.
People are getting mad at Herb for this. What do you guys think?
it was too fast. You shouldn't get mad at Herb for that. That was
Yeah.
quick.
Nick,
It's
what
like-
would you do?
And look, he ran immediately.
Yeah,
that was
Nick.
Herb.
I would take his back. I would take Gregory's back. I would jump on his back.
No, I
Get my
defend Herb
seatbelts
all the way. Herb saw him flop. He
ran.
ran, and that's all he could do.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's on
Look at
Look
Gregory.
at this. Boom, and then Herb runs. That's it. How you get mad at Herb for what?
I mean, Gregory didn't have to do that, but I get it. You're in.
Hey, you're in the heat of
you're
the
in
moment. I get it.
dude.
Yeah, heat of the moment. You want to punch a guy in the face.
Yeah.
Oh,
you get mad at
Hyder.
him.
We gotta talk about our
Emil.
boy Hyder. Damn,
That was a tough fight, bro.
he's in good spirits though.
Delgado's, he's a young
Yeah.
guy.
Hyder didn't even get started.
Yeah. And he had some good exchanges. He took him down. He couldn't maintain top position. It just seemed like Hyder was just really excited to get in there.
Yeah.
He was amped.
He was super amped. And the size difference, Delgado's big, man.
Yeah.
He's big for 145.
You know what's so interesting about Hyder? That fool got a brick for a head because you know, I wouldn't say it's a bad stoppage, but I was surprised he just popped right back up.
Yeah.
I was like, you weren't knocked out?
Yeah.
What
That's
the
why I'm
fuck?
like,
But his conditioning is that good.
look at
Yeah.
this. Boom. Delgado, though, is quick. Ooh.
He's tall, man. Look how big he is. And that was a good game plan by Delgado.
Look at that shit. Look at that
Box
shit.
range. On Hyder?
Knee up the
Look
middle.
at that shit.
Yo, I feel it's like Hyder's are waiting to fight.
Ooh.
Oh.
And then
Good,
look,
he's good, he's good, he's good.
He's good.
He's good. Is that Goddard?
Yeah. It's the way he dropped, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his eyes probably did roll back.
It's the way he dropped. You can't be mad at Goddard for that because most people, when they drop like that, they're out.
right.
But Hyder was still scrambling and he got back up. I was shocked.
Who did we talk to at Vanessa? She said she got choked out or knocked out, and then she came back,
Woke
got
up.
an armbar.
Yeah. Like, you can't be mad at Goddard for that. But
Yeah, his head snapped.
but he was I was like, how the fuck? He's
Right here, right
different.
here. He's trying right here.
But his eyes are rolled back.
Yeah,
That's a tough shot, bro.
Yeah.
That's a really bad shot. Yeah, my heart sank on that one.
me too.
Yeah, I love
And that's the
Hyder,
hard thing about like when you get fighters on here, you want to see him win, and then you see him like get hurt in the ring. You're like, oh my god, why do you do this? You know?
Dude, Delgado was a last minute replacement.
Yeah.
There was 2 replacements that couldn't make it. He was the third one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Real? Oh,
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's tough too to prepare for. You're preparing for one guy, and you get a completely different style.
I mean, good job, Delgado, dude.
She
Got to give you credit where credit is due.
absolutely
Tracy Cortez look good.
Gracie Cortez.
got a W.
Yeah, what's with the chick not shaking her hand? Arujo. She got booed apparently.
Yeah,
What's the? Do you know the beef?
I don't know. I don't know.
Terrence McKinney.
Smart game plan.
Dude, if you don't survive Terrence McKinney in the first round, you're pretty much done. Like, you just have to wear him out.
And Borshev, bro, that motherfucker's tough.
Yeah.
He's like pretty notorious to get finished. So like the fact that Terrence McKinney was able to pull that off on him,
Dude, he
big W.
Picked the ankle, took him down.
And that guy, he's a good wrestler.
Yep.
Borshev. He has good defensive grappling. And I didn't think Terrence McKinney was gonna sub him.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna KO him, if anything.
Dude, Terrence McKinney will either beat you in the first round or Terrence McKinney's getting knocked out
Look how
himself.
tight that guillotine.
Oh my god.
That shit was bad.
Arm
Anytime I
trapped.
see legs failing, I'm just like, ah.
Oh, dude, that's
Which
tough.
kind of goes, how the fuck did Armand survive that shit from Oliveira?
Yeah.
He just flexed.
Yeah.
Just flexed, dude. Oh,
It's his conditioning.
he took his pants off. That's what it was. Remember Charles
oh,
Oliveira's
that's
pants came
right.
off? Yeah. No, Armin's pants came off.
Yeah, Armand's
Armand's
and he gave him some space.
And a bunch of caviar flew out of his butt.
Yeah, just a bunch of caviar.
Dude, a mounted guillotine with that grip tightened and you have the leg over the shoulder, that's dead to rights, bro.
That's it.
Oh man.
That's dead
Look
to
at that.
rights.
I would have stuck my finger up his butt.
Yeah, that's it. That's oil check. Oil checks are legal, by the
And
way.
I would have just got a fucking whatever 2 points deducted, and I just dealt with it.
Oof. That head was turning red, boy.
Every round, David keeps doing this, even though he keeps getting 2 points.
There's lore that I'm actually closeted gay.
Really?
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I think that's for
Lauren-
all of us.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because we keep making like these gay innuendos because I only do it because the classic, typical MMA follower is so homophobic.
True, very
I
true.
can't stop leaning into it now.
Yeah.
You got to, man.
It's who we are now.
Yeah.
We are closeted gay.
Closeted gays, dude. Shout outs to Terrence McKinney, man. To Nico Price, though, dog. Hey, man, you got 14 kids.
That's your stat.
Hey, man, train a little more or something. I don't know what's going on with Nico.
Yeah, man. He's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And
Stepping stone name? Is that what it is? now?
Jacoby, is that his name? Jacoby or Jacob? Jacoby Smith?
Jacob? I
Interesting
don't
that
know.
you made.
Jacob.
It's interesting you made it Jacoby.
This with the E at the end.
What an easy win. for him, dude.
Jacobe.
Jacoby. He's French. But that motherfucker is like a very decorated wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not.
You guys believe the hype? I mean, he got that knockout his last fight. Then he got this.
He's
mission.
he's definitely got to develop a little bit, and they have to feed him, names like Nico Price. But yeah, I would imagine he's going to be an amazing prospect.
This is last fight. I love that. Oof.
Jesus.
He hits
last
hard,
fight,
bro.
Dude, look at that, dude. Look at that.
Just look at the snap of this. It's just.
Yeah, bro. And a lot of these wrestlers,
Pure
they're
power.
strong, bro. They have good power base. They have good strength base. So
There's nobody who would have survived that hook.
No.
There's nobody. That shit was deadly as fuck.
Jacoby Smith, yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, those fights were pretty good, man.
That was a great card.
It was a great card.
It was a really good card. I think that was.
It was a good International Fight Week card.
Some people were saying like the UFC's back, and I was like, do you
I
think?
mean, I don't think it never left.
But it's just like, I think what people are referring to is the star power, right?
Star
Like,
power, Ilia.
Very rarely you get a guy who could perform that great in the main event with all the pressure.
Delivers. Yeah.
And to actually deliver it, and like everything that happened from before the fight to after the fight, they all became stories because, you know, Ilia is just he's a cool customer.
Did you guys know Jake Paul had a fight?
He fought Julio
I watched
Cesar Chavez Jr.
I was with Alex, and we were UFC, and they also had the Jake Paul fight. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
He looked like shit.
It's just the whole card. It's just when you look at UFC's main card, and they have boxing's co-main event and main event going on, it's so slow.
Yeah.
3 UFC fights happened in one
Yeah.
main event boxing. It's so boring.
I didn't know he was boxing. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that one it was in Anaheim.
Oh.
If I didn't have diarrhea, I was gonna go there, but I was like, thank God I fucking
We went to the weigh-ins. I mean, the press conference.
press conference.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we went to the press conference, but yeah, I think a lot of people
hella forgot about that.
Didn't know
Fuck.
this fight was going to happen.
I read about some of the stats. They said they were selling some of the tickets for $10.
Of course.
They got to fill up them seats, boy.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Like, dude, I guess there's room. Oh,
Yeah, 40-year-old dude.
Jesus Christ.
So a lot of people, they're saying they're targeting Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua in 2026.
Yeah. Unless Anthony Joshua dives, Jake Paul's gonna die.
I'd love to actually see that one.
Yeah.
Because he will get knocked out.
See, that's a crazy step up in competition. And Anthony Joshua
That's unnecessary
is
for
a big, strong boy. And he's like, okay, I'll come up for the paycheck.
I mean, good for Jake Paul if he takes that fight, though.
Him beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a nice feather in his cap, I guess.
I
But
will say Chavez at the end kind of started to come back.
People hated this fight. Like, I didn't watch it because I never watch Jake Paul fights anymore, just because it's just a spectacle I don't really care for. And I
kind of
think
dead. Do you think that it's kind of dead?
I think so. I think the spectacle's done. Hey, we talked about that. The spectacle's over now because Jake Paul's good enough now to hang with better people.
Yeah.
Right.
But see, if he pulls this shit off against Anthony Joshua, like a real pro who's
he's
been fighting
amazing.
top level guys, he's not going to be able to throw punches with his hands by his side, you know,
Yeah.
hands by his hips.
Yep.
I just feel like he's like the margin of error is going to get tighter and tighter by the time he gets up to these top
Look
level
at that.
guys.
I think the hard part about this, for why everybody thinks it's rigged, from what I've heard, is that Julio Chavez Jr. first 6 rounds barely threw any punches, and then out of nowhere in the last few rounds he started tagging Jake Paul hard.
Yep.
They're like, why the fuck is it that every single fight that Jake Paul's in, they don't throw at all in the beginning,
very end.
and then towards the very end they start winning?
Do you think it's they realize that they're better than them in the middle of the fight?
Hey, just realize at the beginning,
Yeah, but you know, it's like
it's
sometimes
Jake Paul.
you get caught up in the spectacle of fighting a guy like Jake Paul, and I'm sure Jake Paul is
Look at
very
that.
good early in the rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could tell he's slowing down here. His punches are getting
Look at that.
not as crispy.
He was cracking him.
And, you know, technically, I would say Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is probably a better puncher.
Way better.
So that lasts him, and that's able to get him to win those later rounds. But I don't know, man. He's still fighting guys who are kind of like older, not really like pro-level boxers that you would expect him to fight. Like,
Yeah.
he's obviously a pro-level boxer.
Look, if it's not rigged, that's still very impressive, man. It's still
him getting his
ve-
W is good.
Yeah, it's still very impressive, but it just doesn't look good for Jake Paul because it just looks so sus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everything looks so sus, and I get why people think it's rigged.
Yeah.
And if it turns out that it is, I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Jake Paul hasn't gotten better, but it's just really odd that it's always like that. Why is it the first few rounds they don't throw anything, and then out of nowhere they just start piecing him up towards the end? It's like, it's a little sus. I don't know. But shout outs to Jake Paul either way. I'm not gonna doubt his greatness. He's putting in work.
Yeah, he's
Making
fighting.
money.
He's fighting good
Yeah.
guys.
He gave us Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor on fucking Netflix. Ben Askren finally receives double lung transplant. He got it.
Yeah.
I think Jake Paul might have helped that.
Well, they were saying without insurance, the double lung transplant is a $1.5 million surgery.
How crazy is that?
So he was paying insurance. They denied his claim to get double lung surgery.
What was the reason? Do you know? How did insurance?
Oh, they just pick any reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one person that is like, oh, I'm a fucking ENT, and I'm the one in charge of figuring out who gets claims, right? And they're like, if they could deny it for anything.
Like, that's too expensive for us.
Yeah, you know.
Dumb.
And then it was cool that Jake Paul kind of took his platform and talked about it and was like, yo, it's fucked up. The insurance companies are doing this to a guy like Ben Askren. And then, you know, he took a little shot at Dana and says, if he's not going to do it, then I guess I have to do something about it.
Good move.
You know, hopefully he did do something behind the scenes. That'd be really cool of him. But for him to even say that about Ben Askren is cool. But hopefully he helped those guys out. because that's fucked up, man. That's a bummer.
What the fuck happened? How do you get pneumonia that bad? I feel like he's really healthy.
Yeah.
But then maybe I think too, like, you know, for some of these guys are so tough. When they're sick, they just brush it off, right? They don't go to the hospital.
Until it gets too bad. Until it gets too worse.
I'll just sleep it off.
Yeah.
It's like till it gets to a point, right? That's what happened with Cody Garbrandt when he had COVID. That fool went into the training. He was training like full camp style with COVID. It's like, what you doing, guys?
It's so hard as a pro athlete.
Chimaev too.
Can't stay away from the game.
All these wrestlers, dude, they're just too tough for their own good.
Some fight news here. Sean Strickland, bro, runs into a ring and starts fighting
Sean Strickland,
a cop.
Sean Strickland made me giggle so hard because watch how he throw. Sean Strickland started punching him like an old uncle.
Jerked off on him and he went brah, brah.
But honestly, though, bro, you can't do this shit and then expect these guys to not run up on you.
Yeah.
And Curtis is like, wait, shit, what do I do now? All right, well, you don't do that, buddy. Also, me and Sean are friends again.
It's whack when you're like, fuck you, and they start walking towards you, and you're like, wait. Like, that body language is just a bitch.
Somebody was like, are you going to press charges? He goes, no, I'm actually huge fans of them.
It's just lame for him to do. And I know it's heat of the moment. It's heat of the moment shit, but it's also like, bro, come on, dog. Like, you're in a fight sport.
Yeah.
Show some. You just won. You just choked out their boy. Show some fucking respect.
But check this out. Look at Sean Strickland. He does like the Samoan or Tongan dad with his slip-ons.
Yep.
Take it off.
Yeah. He like shucked them off.
The angry shuck off.
Dude, he kind of walked up to him like a fat Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
Like a 200-pound Karen, dude.
Oh, why?
Are you serious?
Oh,
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, bro, you poking the bear at that point.
Yeah, don't fuck with Sean Strickland.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Sean Strickland's dope.
And yeah, you shouldn't be doing it after a fight, bro.
Yeah, dude. Now
you
Chris
already
Curtis.
won. That's enough. You know.
Now that Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland are friends again, don't do that to both of them.
Nah.
They'll beat both of your asses.
They both store.
Yeah.
Yo, did you guys see during fight week Sean Strickland doing his live stream with Laura Senko?
No, what happened?
She did a live stream with. He just kept calling everyone. Well, you can bleep this out. He just kept saying "sand people" the whole time.
Oh my God.
And Lauren Senko was like, "Why did I do a live stream with Sean Strickland?"
Who was he? What was he saying? Sam? What was the reference?
He just kept talking about all the political stuff going on.
In the Middle
kept
East.
Using slurs like crazy.
That's
And she's
hilarious.
like, the live stream wasn't her channel. It was for the UFC. They set it up.
Why Sean
Live
Strickland?
stream?
Nah, don't do a live stream with Sean Strickland. I could have told you that.
He says sand people. Jesus.
He said some other
Middle East
stuff.
conflict.
He said some other stuff too.
Wow.
And he was like, and Lauren said, let's be honest, Lauren Senko, like, you're an amazing commentator, but come on, you got a great set of tits. That's why you're here. She's like,
he has Asperger's, dude. Yeah. He definitely has Asperger's or something, man.
Look what he did here.
Yeah.
What is that, dude? That's some Conor McGregor type of shit.
Oh no, you think it's he's just a little impulsive from the head trauma?
A little impulsive. He's always been impulsive, man.
I think he just makes, a great fighter.
Oh God, dude. I'm just, you know what I'm really glad about though? I'm pretty sure you guys talked about it wasn't here. I'm just so glad that Jon Jones can just go the fuck away from the UFC, man.
Oh wait, you didn't comment on that.
No, I'm just so happy that he fucking retired. He's away now. Just go away, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I will always say this too, and fighters will always disagree. You know, when we talk about the greatest of all time, you know who gets to, I wouldn't say decide that, but where that discussion comes from? It comes from the fans, right? It's not about his record, it's how he decided to leave. Right? It's like, we always say this, you're only as good as your last fight and what you leave people with. And he is the only person that ruined his own legacy.
He left a real bad taste in everyone's mouth.
2.5 years. Man.
Everybody's sick of all the nonsense. And then him just trying to backtrack, him saying, what do you guys think, I didn't want the fight, but I would love to fight Ngannou. That's a fight that really gets me excited.
Is that what he's saying now?
And then when they said, that's what they said before Dana was like, no, we're not going to get Ngannou. And then he goes, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
And to Dana White, he was like, bro, it came out of nowhere. It was like we had the fight booked. It was ready to go, right? That's according to him. Who knows who's telling the truth, right?
Because there's some people saying John was like, I told the UFC I'm retired.
But I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe Jon Jones because he's proven to be
a liar.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's proven to be a guy who's not very trustworthy with his word.
Truth.
And then on top of that, when you're like subtweeting people and you're tweeting to fans, you're like you're defending like, oh, I'm on this Russian TV show getting paid more money than DC.
No, you're not.
More than $30 million?
Yeah, and it's just like it's just like you're saying all this stuff. It just comes off as a guy who's trying to defend himself to the fans. because they have some valid points.
I said this on a story, right? And this is before the news came out. Just watching how he's like crashing right now is what we're always worried about with champions.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just fighters in general. Right?
Jon Jones' only thing that makes him valuable is the fact that people consider him the GOAT of the UFC. Once you lose that, he's desperately trying to hold on to that. It's like, I'm not the GOAT now. I can't say that. Because that's the only way people value him. In his personal life, it doesn't seem like he's valued. People don't like him as a human being, as a person, so he tried to attach himself to a religion like Christianity to like wash himself and absolve him of these sins. It didn't work out, and now it's like, I'm the best, I could say whatever. But now a majority of the fans are saying, fuck you, I don't even think you're the GOAT. And so he's lost the one thing that gives him, like, cemented his value as a human being, and he's lost that. So because of that, I'm like, somebody needs to watch him. He's going to hurt himself.
Well, bro, it's like all the time away from the sport, there's always something that happens, right?
Yeah.
Because what did I say early on? I was like, Jon Jones is the GOAT. Let him do what he wants. And he got the Stipe fight.
Did it?
And then 2.5 years of fucking with everybody. It's like, dude, fuck it. I thought he was going to retire off of that. Him beating Stipe, by the way, didn't add anything to his legacy. It added nothing to his legacy. And he might have said that, but to his legacy, I don't think it did.
He fought the number 8 ranked guy for the title.
Exactly.
Right.
When you say it like that, bro.
And you know that like the UFC kind of gave him a bone. They're like, he probably was like adamant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight again unless I fight Stipe.
And I think it was fine for them to give him that.
Yeah. They're like, cool. But then I think they did that to get get the Tom Aspinall fight, right?
He didn't deliver on
and then
that.
for him to kind of delay it, dangle the carrot, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. It's just like, dude, all right. Now it just really seems like you're afraid to fight Tom Aspinall. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't really matter. Like you said, it's the fans and the public perception of that. And then him fighting that on Twitter with guys who just have eggs as their fucking profile
and
pictures.
Let's just be honest, right? And I hate doing like the Jones and DC comparison. You think DC would have said no to that fight?
Nope.
I think DC would have been like, let's go, young man. Let's rock this shit and let's see what fucking happens.
He had a really good perspective too. He was like, as a champion, you have to give a guy the next shot.
Because you were given that shot.
You were given that shot. You fought a bunch of old people.
And he's like,
Shogun.
you gotta. He said you gotta leave the ladder down, but he took that shit up with him.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, that's a good metaphor.
And then now it's like people are mad at him for it.
Yeah. Look at DC. After DC starched Stipe, he didn't have to give Stipe another chance.
2 more times he fought him, right?
Yeah. So he got to fight him 2 more times. He didn't. None of that had to happen, but both of them did that for the sport. And for Jones to be like, "Oh, thank you for the sport for giving me so much," you said "fuck you" to the sport when you left. What are you talking about? Nothing you say makes sense, and it's because you are a sociopath. You are literally insane. And I will say this for the record on this podcast: I would be scared to interview him, even if we got so big enough, if we could, because he scares me as an individual.
100%.
As a human being, he frightens me, right? And I think like watching how he's going, he's either going to hurt himself or hurt people around him, and somebody needs to watch him. He is not sane.
You saw that clip on the Nelk Boys where he's getting interviewed, and it's like the first 5 minutes, and that guy Kyle
Wasted,
was like,
right?
Yeah, he's drinking Happy Dads and shit. And then Kyle was like, "So what do you think it'll take for you to fight Tom Aspinall?" Very basic question, not like he's calling Jon Jones a pussy or anything. He's like, you know what, I'm out. He gets up and he leaves.
Yeah.
Right? So when I see that, it tells me, oh, okay, well, you're really upset by this Tom Aspinall fight. You're upset with all the negative perception.
There,
yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, it kind of checks out.
So like when people talk about, he's ducking Tom, I think now it is for sure he ducked Tom. There is no...
And I don't blame him.
No debate.
I don't blame him.
I was defending him for the longest time. You're ducking Tom because Tom has the one thing that he could take from you that people value about you is that you are an undefeated GOAT. And Tom has the ability to take that from you, and you're like, you can't take my identity away. Like, I won't even give you the chance to do it. And I think that's what Jones is going through. So it's like, I don't have to feel bad for this guy because, like, dude, go back to that one interview that DC had with Jones. He goes, you don't make mistakes like that. He goes, this is who Jon Jones is, and DC nailed it in the head. He goes, there's demons that he's fighting outside of the octagon that defines who Jon Jones is as a human being, and he hasn't addressed that. And it's come out over and over and over and over, and I'm just tired of the circus.
If you have a body cam compilation of you getting arrested, and it's like 20 minutes long, that's not good.
I have
and when you
brothers that
watch
could
those
kill
videos,
you.
you're like, bro, this guy he's going through some shit right now. Like, he's just unstable. Hopefully he gets the help he needs, but like, he's so powerful. He's like, he kind of does whatever he wants. I just feel like,
dude, if he's
it's not very likely.
If Jon Jones is in a music video with Frank Ocean butt naked, he's gay for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's cemented in there, and that would bring his legacy back up.
Honestly, that's the only way out of this.
Yep. He goes, hey guys, I'm actually gay, back to superstardom again,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Easy work.
That would probably be like top tier.
Jones,
shit.
just come out again.
Oh, you'd crush, dude.
You would crush.
Honestly, you should.
Hey, man, listen,
Like a true redemption story.
listen to the casuals, dude. Just come out, say you're out of the closet, come back, fight Tom Aspinall, and they're like, he just beat up a gay guy. That's a hate crime. Done.
Boom. Not a not a not
We
a
don't like Tom.
Tom hates, he hates the LGBTQ, dude.
He's a basher, dude.
Yeah.
We don't like those
he has
guys.
a crazy underbite.
All right. Oh my God, he would starch us.
So,
Let's make some quick picks. We got Fight Night Lewis versus Teixeira. Quick picks. Here we go. Derek,
Wait, hold on. Before we move forward, I was like, Jon Jones has an underbite?
No.
And then I thought of Tom and I go, oh, he does.
crazy
Fellow
underbite.
underbite brother.
I love Paddy.
He
Paddy?
could collect water under that thing, dude.
Have you ever been fingered? That's my favorite
Hilarious.
Tom Aspinall moment.
What would it take?
You ever been fingered by a fighter?
What would it take? Derek Lewis, Teixeira. Let's get this heavyweight rankings back.
Please.
Going.
Oh, man. So Derek Lewis is like 41? 40 now?
Yeah. Most knockouts.
Teixeira's
Teixeira's
fire contender, right?
He's a big boy. He's like 6'2" or something like that. And he's got power. He get hit.
Oh, shit.
So this is like a changing of the guard type fight. They're trying to get a new heavyweight contender in the mix.
If Derek Lewis gets knocked out, I think he's going to retire.
Yeah, it's this guy. I remember this guy now. Teixeira from the Contender Series.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait.
Honestly, I don't know who's going to win this, bro.
I think I'm going to go Lewis.
Still. Look at this long-ass Shaquille O'Neal Brazilian.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Look at this long
For
this
reals,
dude.
dude.
Look at that.
big.
But look at this. You
But
think he's
Derek
gonna-
Lewis likes to fight bigger dudes.
He loves fighting bigger dudes.
That overhand-
And what does Derek Lewis love doing? He loves dipping his head and
Yeah.
And that's like a big dude's nightmare. You know how I know? That's what I always get hit with. I get hit with that fucking overhand.
I
By
know.
a shorter guy.
Yep.
Lift God Acosta.
Overhand king. Yeah, man. I think I'm going to go Lewis on this.
Yeah. I think Lewis.
Pull up his record. Tell us his record.
You know what? I'm going to go with the young blood. Let's get some blood for some Tom to get, build up. I'm going to go Teixeira. One fight. Tafa.
He beat Tafa.
with KO. First round.
Yeah, but Tafa not Lewis though. Shout outs to Tafa though. I love you, man.
Because at 40, a heavyweight, that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's just heavyweight
Right.
shit.
He's still got the power.
Has Derek been partying? Is he upset that he's not fighting in New Orleans?
What was his last fight? Can you pull up Derek Lewis's last fight?
Remember, Derek Lewis has a 6-pack now.
Does he?
true.
Oh, that's right.
6-pack Lewis, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh.
If he was a really good grappler, I would be a little bit worried.
Yeah,
But
But he's not.
I'm gonna go Lewis.
I don't know if he's going to be able
I say Lewis by knockout.
I say Teixeira by knockout. Nick, what do you say?
I'll go Lewis,
By.
TKO.
Oh shit, Thompson's fighting Bone Fiend.
Yeah.
This
that
is an interesting one, too.
might have to go ball and theme, right? Because
I just feel like
here?
What size is
he's,
the octagon?
Oh, the small one, right? It's no, it's the big one because it's in a.
I feel like Bone
arena.
Fiend is going to be, like, if he's smart, I would put Thompson against a cage a lot because he has the grappling to be able to handle that. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish him early. I think it might have to be a Joaquin Buckley situation where it has to be, if he's going to finish Thompson, he has to get him tired, a little fatigued, and finish
Yeah.
him later in the fight. But I'm always going to go Wonder Boy because I feel like that style is a toss-up. You don't know how guys are going to be able to deal with it, handle it, especially while he's in the cage with you.
As long as Stephen Thompson can move around, I'm going Stephen
I'm
Thompson.
going Wonder Boy, dude.
Yeah, I'm going Wonder Boy.
Then you're like, man.
This might be a different Bone Fiend.
No,
Because
that's
that's not the right
that's the
Bone
short
Fiend.
one.
Gabrielle Bone
Yeah, you
Fiend.
fucking casual. What are you out of your mind?
No, that's
what
the
the hell?
bone film. Here we
And
go.
don't show that thing of McKinney getting killed. Please.
Yeah, Wonder Boy is always going to, like, Wonder Boy MVP.
Beautiful.
Oh man,
He's always going to be, like, that's always going to be on the table for him to win.
Yeah, but an older guy at that style is a little tough.
But dude, he was piecing up Buckley before he got
Yeah, he was winning
tagged.
that whole fight.
Yeah,
And it's just because of that style. And it took Joaquin Buckley to throw something explosive against the cage, right?
Thompson, win this fight and then retire, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go Thompson on this.
You have
one.
such a successful dude. You know what I love watching about Thompson when you see clips of his school and his students look hella good. His students look
that karate
fucking
style.
good. I was like, every one of his students could kill me.
They got a great system over there.
Yeah.
Gator versus Garcia.
I'm going Garcia on this. Garcia has really crazy KO power.
Who did you fight last?
Dude, the past couple guys he fought, he just starches.
Yeah, man.
he's kind of one of the slept dudes.
Oh, that fight, Nelson.
Bro, look, he's KO'd all these guys. Every single one of them. First round. Like, and it's violent KOs.
And we love Cater.
We love Calvin Kattar, but we've seen him have a hard time in these past couple.
Yeah.
Pull up his record. He's on a losing streak. I think his last fight was Aljo. Maybe one after that.
No, it wasn't It was the fucking runner.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
You know
right.
where he was?
What?
The pop-up.
Oh, was he?
He was at the pop-up.
Zalal was at the pop-up?
Yeah, people were like texting. They were taking photos of him like right next to our pop. I didn't know he was there.
Oh.
That would have been
Hey,
hilarious.
Zalal. I was already tired. You would have put me to sleep. Just kidding. You seem like a really fun guy.
David's
does
like,
seem
so
fun.
tell me about your fights. Ugh.
I was like, Zalal, what do you think about people saying you're the boringest fighter on the roster?
He's like, that'd be a
Yeah,
tough
but
question.
even when I was telling Aljo too, I don't ever stray away from the things that I said, right? When I was talking to Aljo, I was like, look, fans like you, they hate you, they like you, they hate you, and I was also on the hate train as well. Like we were also very critical of you.
I
as well.
almost stepped in. I wasn't. I was never on the hate train.
Because
Even though
I don't
was.
want to lie. I don't want to lie to them, right? I'm not doing that shit,
Yeah.
right? I said what I said, and I felt like what I felt like.
and he knows this.
He knows.
Everyone was.
Yeah, it's not like I'm the only one. It's every UFC fan ever.
99.
I think that question is what made him stay.
Yeah.
If you didn't ask that, he probably would have left 10 minutes early.
No, shout outs to fucking Aljo. Man.
Aljo was cool as fuck.
Such a good analyst.
We got to
too.
chop it up with him, and he's
a
hella
lot of
smart.
these guys are good analysts.
Hell
and
yeah.
Vanessa too. I was like, damn.
Because I feel like they don't get to talk. Maybe they don't get to talk about fights like that.
That's how, yeah.
Because we're honestly just like nerds about it too. We just have questions that we want to like ask. So I think it lent itself well. But Kattar, I feel like is a tough matchup for him.
I go Steve Garcia. Yeah, three knockouts.
I'm gonna go Cater, and
gee.
Cater's gonna shock everybody, and he's gonna bust up Garcia's face.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And him and Dave are gonna be best friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
Calvin
By the way, I like Garcia a lot, but I just still believe in Cater.
Calvin Kattar's been training at, I think, TriStar with Faraz. And ever since
that's a game changer.
Ever since they made that move, they've been looking a little bit tired, a little bit better. So maybe Calvin Kattar is going to have a really good
I think
strategy.
Cater's gonna
against Steve
shock
Garcia.
everybody. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Cater's
Damn,
back."
you got me tripping, bro.
I didn't know about the TriStar thing.
Yeah. Him and Rob Font been going up there.
And when he started putting it on Zalal towards the end, Zalal had nothing for him.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go Cater.
All right, we got Nate the Great.
I'm going the French.
Honestly, Morgan should win.
Morgan's so good, dude.
But Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train, baby.
Nate the Train.
I love Nate. He's so fucking fun to watch, man.
I think I got Morgan on this, but
It's Morgan. Come on.
because Nate kind of didn't look that good in his last one. It looked like the damage has been catching up with him a little bit.
It's also too. Morgan is such a technical fighter.
And he's strong, he's fast, he's young.
Nate's a perfect matchup for fucking Morgan, dude. And I think Morgan's going to make it look pretty easy. Or Nate's going to pull his, R-word type of fucking techniques, and he's going to freak out.
Type.
He's going to...
Because the pressure could give Morgan some problems, but he's technical enough
Look at
to
that.
be able to beat him everywhere. Like it should look like this. I
He's
think.
just a confident kid right now.
Yeah, but he did lose to what's his name?
Last fight, right?
Fuck the British dude. I forgot his name.
Dude, you gotta know names, man.
Click on his name.
I obviously know who it is. It's
Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood's really good, really technical. So this should be a good matchup. It's
a good comeback.
Yeah.
We all going Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh.
Petrino versus Lorraine.
Vitor's going up. His last fight was against Jacoby at 185.
Kobe starched him.
205. So he's going up to heavyweight.
He starched him.
And Austin Lane is a big heavyweight. But we've seen Austin Lane get KO'd. I think Austin Lane's coming off a KO loss. Petrino's coming off a KO loss.
Bro,
but I think Petrino can get it done, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's good. It just he just got cracked. You know?
Austin Lane has always been a fighter to me where I looked at, and this, like I said, this is just from a fan's perspective. He seems to have these pieces that can make him great, but he can't put it together.
I think that's what happens when you're like a football player, right? He's
Yeah.
a crazy like freak
Athletic,
athlete.
yeah.
And he could piece all these things together, but I don't think he has the volume of time that like a Vitor. Vitor's probably been training his whole life.
Yeah.
So I just feel like technically, there's little pockets where he just seems like he's a little behind.
It's just disjointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like little things. He's dropping his hand, and you're doing that against heavyweights.
I think I'm gonna go Vitor too.
I think I'm gonna go Vitor.
But yeah, Austin.
Like that. You see that? Like he's throwing that jab.
Yeah.
Drops it to his waist. You don't do that against Vitor.
And I can
dude.
see Vitor Petrino landing the shot against
Yes.
Austin Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Petrino.
And he's not going to cut weight, so
Exactly.
he might be feeling better at
boy hit
heavyweight.
hard.
Hell yeah.
All right, Junior Tafa, one of the Tafa brothers versus Tuco.
This is a toss-up.
I'm going Tuco.
Tukos is a good grappler,
Tafa has not been impressive the last
but
couple
Tukos is also like a top. Like you just don't know what you're going to get with him.
But Tafa,
He's coming down to 205.
he won his last fight?
He's coming to 205, I think.
If look, the thing about Tafa, like the Tafa brothers, they just think grappling is gay.
Yeah.
And I think like they're like from that. It almost seems like they're from that generation of like we don't grapple. That
You want to learn it?
Yeah. So it's just like if Tuco knows that, go for the singles.
Yeah.
Go for the doubles. Put him up against the cage. Wear him out.
W.
I'm leaning towards Tuco in this one.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards the grappler.
They just have also an issue with conditioning too. The Tafa brothers get tired. Fast.
Yeah.
And I've seen that so often. And if he's coming back with the same bod, and he doesn't care about that, he goes, I got hammers in here. I see trouble in Tafa's future, but I'm going to go Tafa.
Oh my God.
This is because I like him.
Yeah, baby.
Guess what? I think grappling's gay too.
I'm here for the
And that's coming
bangers,
from a
cuz.
gay. Okay.
Just a little quick scan of what we got here. We got Vulture
Walter
Walker,
and Kennedy, that one's fun. Mike Davis is fighting.
Matthews, Cheaty.
Kennedy is actually looking
Curtis.
good lately.
Chris Curtis and
Griffin,
Max
that's a good
Griffin
fight.
is a good
That's a good
one.
fight.
I think I got Curtis on that. And he's at 170.
Oh, he's going down.
Oh, he going back down again?
I think Chris
Bro,
Curtis.
why
bro.
is 170 so deep? Damn.
I don't know, but yeah, 170 is becoming the it weight class.
It used to be 155 back in the
Chris
day.
Curtis at 170. We've always said that.
Yeah.
Right? You've always said that. Like he should go down a weight class. So I think he'll probably do better here.
Chris Curtis too, man. Like when he puts the fucking gas on, he's hard to deal with.
I feel like stand-up wise, he should be able to beat Max Griffin.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think that's a Chris Curtis fight.
I think Chris Curtis is going to TKO Max Griffin. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to go Chris Curtis.
Action, man. Guys, those are our picks. Once again, don't use them. Or use them. I don't know.
Lose your house.
Oh, the last card, I did not do that well.
What'd you
but
do for
I kinda knew
317?
I wasn't-
We did okay. We did okay.
I was 4 for
Who
5.
who did you miss on?
I missed on a bunch of shit. Kai Car France,
Oh.
which I knew was going to
But
happen.
you were picking with your heart, though.
Yeah.
The
Those
one
are
I
hard
missed
picks.
was I changed it because of all the fighters. I switched to Felipe Lima.
Yeah. Oh.
I should have had Talbot.
Yeah.
Moicano. Well, Talbot actually.
Moicano got me.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Moicano got me.
Moicano too. Fuck, I forgot about that one. Guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Where do you want us to go next? Tell us what fighters you want here, and also, go hit up the UFC, hit up other brands. Tell them that you guys should have the Casuals do a pop up at UFC New Orleans, and we'll be down there to get some.
And guess what?
dub up.
Fighters love
love New
talking
Orleans.
to us, man.
Yeah.
I feel like once they start talking to us, we have a good time.
Yeah, man. And if they want to radio, you were saying this. I'm like, yes, I was.
What?
And we were drunk on most of those podcasts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to beat up a gay guy?
Yeah.
You're going to hate crime me now?
That's a good protection.
Yeah.
Easy. I just get butt naked and open up my asshole. Yeah, you like that?
I'm in a Frank Ocean music video.
Yeah, dude. You like
Don't
that?
beat me.
Yeah, you want this ass?
Guys, we're going to end on that ass. We love you and peace.